What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we have something special. Welcome back to the channel. So for Christmas, my mother came up with the idea of surprising my dad with something special. Over the last couple months, we've looked for said special item, looked at a bunch of different cars, and we settled on this. Alright, so while we were looking for a car, we looked at a couple straight sixes, looked at some other cars, and I ended up finding this on Craigslist. Like I said, this is 1965. It is a GT. All of the badges are wrong over here. Somebody restored it and put these weird badges. But as far as we can tell, it is a factory GT car. GTs did not have that little chrome piece here, did not have the Mustang emblem there, that had like a little GT badge. But I guess let's show you guys the inside. This car, we were looking for a driver. Something that's nice, but not like completely 100% restored. Something that my dad can just go enjoy, we could feature on the channel, as well as just kind of drive around as a family, you know, third or extra vehicle. So it does have air conditioning. Right now the air conditioning is broken. It is a 4-speed car. So this came from the factory with a 289 4-barrel carburetor. This is not the high performance engine, but it's one of the higher performance engine. This was a factory 4-barrel car, so the thing scoots. I mean, it's a nice little, it's pretty quick. So, AC compressor, I don't believe this was factory. This is something that they added on afterwards. It's currently broken right now. I think something's wrong with the compressor, but that's on the laundry list of things to fix. But yeah, here's the engine bay. This car was actually Ragu red, which is that color. So the plan is eventually to pull the drivetrain out, clean up the engine bay, make everything nice, there's little minor leaks on the engine and the transmission that need to be fixed, make it all pretty, and then put it back in. Here's just the front end of the car. We have not had the wheels off yet to see if they are factory wheels. This car did come with Ford OEM disc brakes. They're manual brakes, but they are disc brakes, which is I would say, fairly rare option for a car this old. GTs came with the factory fog lights. These are stamped Ford OEM part numbers. Here's the front of the car. Walk around the side. I do have to say, I don't know how the people in the 60s did this, trying to use this little tiny mirror to back up. I think it's like 3 inches and you can barely see anything. So this car came with 195s for the tires, so they are not very wide. Car stops decent, but it overpowers the tire very quickly because they're little rubber bands. Same thing with accelerating. Here's the back of the car. So I know in 1965 the GTs did not have a GT badge. It had I believe just a regular Mustang gas cap, because you know these cars actually, this is where you fill up the gas. But I know whoever owned this car prior to us did that. These trumpet exhausts are factories on the GTs, as well as it was an option for, I think, the regular V8 cars. So there's the outside of the car. We'll jump back inside. So when this car was new, it had a red interior, red dash. Whoever did the restoration, put in black seats, which I personally like better. But It's not a bad looking interior. It's missing some trim pieces. There's a whole entire bin of items in the trunk of the car that we can put on. So the GT's had the 5-gauge cluster. It has the factory fog lights down here, which it has the D cut. A lot of people who add aftermarket fog lights just cut a hole and you can actually loosen this up and spin it. These are actually notched from the factory, so you can't spin it. Same thing with the dash. We had the cluster out the other day, and this is actually a Ford OEM GT dash, which was another indicator. Same thing with the disc brakes. But yeah, here's the inside of the car. It's not 100% perfect. It's not 100% done. Like the mirrors, there's some pitting in the mirrors. The steering wheel, the horn doesn't work and everything's all loose. This pops off. So we'll have to figure that out. I have my old floor mats out of one of my older Mustangs that I gave to my dad. But yeah, we added seat belts. We added, I think these are Scott Drake seat belts that we added last weekend. Because this car, I believe, came with seat belts, but somebody removed them. So when we bought it, it had no seat belts. Has an aftermarket Hurst shifter. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving on into the trunk. Like I said, it's got a whole entire tub of extra parts and pieces, and like here's the visors that need to go back up, extra rockers, extra the little felt for the windows, things like that. Brand new gas tank. Another thing I found, that a lot of these cars have a bunch of rust on the bottom. Like all this is solid. Same thing with the other side. Oh, there's a bunch of CJ Pony parts stuff. I took a magnet over this car too, and there is almost no Bondo on this at all. There's a little bit on the passenger side door where I don't know if there's a little rust spot that they tried fixing or whatnot. But yeah, it's a good, probably 1 or 2 foot car. You can tell that somebody painted this, you know, either at home or in a garage or something like that. It's not a show quality paint job, but it looks really nice for, you know, what we wanted. Because basically all we wanted was a car that my dad could enjoy on the weekends and drive, you know, all the way down to my house, because I now live, you know, almost 50 miles away. But yeah, so that's the new project. Now here comes the fun part of what's wrong with the car. It runs and drives. I drove it for probably 4 hours today around town doing some videos, taking people out and things like that. The factory wiring in the taillights is not working for some reason. This side works. I don't know if you can barely see, that one lights up. We're having an issue with this. My dad and I spent probably 3 or 4 hours one day trying to figure it out. I think we're probably gonna have to just replace the rear harness, because no matter what we do, it doesn't seem like it's working. Last night the tag light was working. I don't know if it actually is or not. Now, yep, you can see it. Not very bright, but oh, there we go, focus. But it's working. The engine has a leak towards the back of the motor. I don't know if it's the rear main seal or what, or something in the front of the transmission. There's a little leak there that we gotta fix. The overflow for the rear end is leaking a little bit, like the plug, I guess. Yeah. So here's a little bit more detailed of the engine. The suspension's actually in pretty good shape. I doubt they're original shocks and struts. Or well, actually these are just shocks because they're, I believe, a double wishbone. Yeah, it's got new alternator. Looks like somebody went through the entire fuel system. It's got a new gas tank, new fuel lines, things like that. Same thing, aluminum radiator. Somebody went through the brakes. It has all new lines. It has the, here, turn the headlight, let me turn the headlights off before I kill the battery. So it has the GT fog lights. For some reason this isn't connected. This is a factory harness. Not really sure why, but that's something we have to address. In the GT cars from the factory, don't know if you guys can see or not. These fog light holes where the wire passes through are stamped. If you add them, they're drilled. This is 100% stamped because it has a lip. So that is a factory GT front support. But it's kind of an overview of the car. So basically the plan with the car is to just kind of fix it up so it's, you know, decent. It doesn't have to be like super show car, you know, car show winning, trophy catching car. It's just something nice that my dad can drive, something that's reliable, that we can just do some content on the channel. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys are interested in doing some more classic stuff, because I've actually thought about doing a like an F100 build, doing a Crown Victoria chassis with a Coyote motor, things like that. So I don't know. I really like this car, I'm not gonna lie. This is a car that we're not gonna hack up, not gonna, you know, motor swap, things like that. It'll just be a nice, clean driving, daily driver if you wanted to car. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about working on a classic car and what else we should do to it, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.